People tend to gravitate towards new construction homes. Some people tend to gravitate towards resale homes, and some tend to fall right down the middle. So today we're going to cover some pros and cons of building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Acuff with the Acuff Weekly Group, brokered by eXp Realty. And if you're wanting to know everything eating, sleeping, living in Auburn, Alabama, then you found the right page. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you don't miss another great video we'll have coming out. And honestly, we're getting calls and texts and emails every day from people just like you that are looking to relocate to the Auburn-Opelika area, and we absolutely love it. So feel free to give us a call, text, email, pigeon carriage, smoke signals. We don't care. We just want to hear from you because when it comes to relocating to Auburn, we've got your back. So like I said in the beginning, today we're going to talk about building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area. And there's really one main thing you need to know, and that's hiring a real estate agent. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a real estate agent. It's literally coming from experience. And so you always want someone to have your back. Understand that agents that are representing the builder in the model homes, they work for the builder, they represent the builder first. And so it's always really important for a buyer to have someone, a fiduciary, someone that's going to protect their interest or watch out for them and help them negotiate right contracts and also guide them through the buying process, because it's not an everyday thing where buyers are always building new houses. So it's always a great opportunity to work with a local agent that's experienced with all the different builders, can kind of give you the ins and outs, the do's, the don'ts, and the extras, things to ask for, and just keep you on track and actually save you guys a lot of money. So let's go ahead and get started with some pros and cons of building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area. So let's get started with the pros of building new construction. And pro number one is pretty obvious. It's new. And so you're buying a brand new home, right? And so some people, like I said in the intro, is some people are wanting to buy resale and some people are right down the middle. Well, when buying a resale, understand you're buying something that's used, right? And so it may have damage, it may have deferred maintenance. We don't know, that's when we recommend absolutely getting a home inspection regardless of it, if it's new or if it's a resale. But with resale, you're going to be dealing with systems that are aged, and there may be issues or maybe problems down the road. And so you may end up having to replace something a lot sooner rather than later. Whereas if you're buying a new home, you actually have an opportunity to really have a peace of mind of knowing that everything in the house is new. Your HVAC's new, your water heater's new. And that's a really nice thing to know, especially if you're not real handy or if you really don't have the cash available to replace a system. Buying new is definitely a great opportunity here, and it could be a really great option for you. And so once you know everything is new, another pro about building new construction is that it's less competition. And so in today's market, you'll notice that our inventory is extremely, extremely low. And that can lead to a lot of frustration, a lot of multiple offers. A lot of people they could be overpaying for a home, especially one that's used, one that may have deferred maintenance because it's a very desirable price point within Auburn and Opelika. So when you're building new, you have that opportunity to go one-on-one with the builders and have that opportunity to select your finishes, select what you want. And so that's one of the big pros about building new construction, is definitely the less competition. So you can get in there, get a contract on a home, get it started, and you're really not fighting against anybody because all you're doing is choosing a floor plan and a lot and moving forward. And so that leads us to pro number three, and that's customizing it the way you really, really want it. You can really maximize what you're doing in the home by upgrading some of the features and having that opportunity to customize things the way you want it to really fit your needs. You may need something for you and your family that is especially like a space if you work from home, or modifying the kitchen the way you want it, or the master bath the way you need it. The new construction just gives you a lot of opportunity and flexibility with those options to really customize the way you really want the home in the end. And that way, When you're buying a new construction home, you're getting exactly what you're paying for. And so that leads us to pro number 4, and that's having more floor plans and amenities. As you probably noticed, searching for homes, a lot of the older homes were all built almost exactly the same. And that's not to say you can't do that with new construction now, but if you look at the homes that were built really in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, a lot of those floor plans are closed. A lot of those amenities are small. With new construction, it's open. You have options to move walls with certain builders and make the floor plans flow a lot better for you. You know, when we start talking about amenities with those older homes, you're looking at, you may only get a single vanity. The shower may be a tub shower or one of those really funny looking showers that looks like a rocket ship. So when you step in, you feel like you might just take off to Mars. And so by having that flexibility, by looking at floor plans and the amenities that the new construction offers, you can really, like I said before, maximize what you're wanting to do with the home that really makes it fit your needs, and you're getting exactly what you want out of it. As always, with any type of pros, you definitely have the cons. And so let's go ahead and jump right into the cons of building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area. Con number 1 is definitely that it takes time to build. And this is something that's not for everyone. If you're relocating to the area and you're on a short timeline, new construction may not be the best option for you. On average in the Auburn-Opelika area, you're going to be looking anywhere from 5, 6 to 9 months on building. And so that timeline just might not work for you, or it could be for you. You know, if you're coming here and you've got a rental lease and you have that opportunity to go month to month, where you're flexible and you have a great place to stay, it could be a really good opportunity to build. Or if you already live here and you're wanting to build a new home, then it's a really great option. And so what you'll see is that mostly your production style builders, they're gonna, from the very first time you meet with them to the finish date, is typically about 120 days, so about 4 to 5 months. On average, though, you're going to be looking at that 6 to 9 month range right now, especially with COVID-19 and really what it's done to the materials. And so not only have the costs gone up, but also the limited materials could definitely pose an issue, and it could really push your timeline. And so something to think about there is your rental lease. Let's just say if you're in a rental and you have a lease, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and talk with that landlord and say, hey, you know, if I have to go a little bit overtime, can I go month to month? Will you let me stay? What do those prices look like? And so it's really just important to know that timeline is a huge, huge deal when building new construction, especially in the Auburn-Opelika area. And so with that timeline, spec-built homes could be a really, really great option for you. You know, you could get a home that's already in the process. And by spec, we mean a speculative home that has already been, the floor plan has already been picked out. They've already picked out the lot. They've already started the construction process, which means they've already put in permits. They've started the foundation. They could be in the plumbing stage, the framing stage, the insulation, the siding. And so it could be in any stage of life, basically, in the building process that you could catch a home. And if it's the floor plan that you can live with or the one that you want, it could be a really great opportunity to snag one up while they're available. Number 2 is that upgrades come at a premium. And so understanding the new construction process, you know, you are paying for that builder and you're paying for their time. They definitely do not work for free. Yes, a builder makes money off of the sale and the build of a home, but where a builder can really make their margins is on those upgrades, and they can be costly. And so what you'll notice is once you start getting into the process of building a home, you could go into the meeting and find out that they may have an allotted number that they give you as far as an upgrade budget. And anything over that budget is where you're going to be charged more. And so what they'll do is they'll actually add that either to the purchase price, or you just have to put down a bigger deposit. But right here, it's just really important to know that the upgrades, they could really, really cost you, and they could really bump up the price, and they could bump you out of what you can actually afford in a new construction home. So here's a tip. When building a new construction home, I do recommend to all of our buyers that you take a look at the home and think about the things that you could possibly do later. Now, we're not talking anything structural or bathrooms, or like if you really wanted that double vanity but you want to go with a single vanity. I think right here in the process is when you want to get those big structural items, whether you wanted a bigger shower, get it. But things such as like maybe your upgraded carpet, or maybe your backsplash, or maybe that fence, simple things that you could come in after the fact, because what's going to happen if you add that into the upgrades, you're going to be paying a premium for that builder to put those upgrades in. And so another small item could be the hardware on the cabinets. It could be maybe some fixtures, some fans. And that's why we say absolutely work with a professional that is experienced in the buying process with new construction and has worked with the builders in the local Auburn-Opelika area. So I'm going to go ahead and put up my contact information and my team's contact information, because we're working with builders every day and we build tons of homes throughout the year with all the different builders. So another con of building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area is that the neighborhood's under construction. And so if you really, really love the location of that development, you may get a little bit better price up front being first in the neighborhood. But one of those things you're going to have to deal with is the construction. You're not going to have finished pavement until the end. It's important to ask those questions up front. What is the build timeline? Have you guys had a whole lot of interest? How many phases do you guys have planned for this neighborhood, this area? When does the construction start in the morning and when does it end in the evening? Because if you have little kids that sleep early and the framers work late, it could pose a problem. Or if they get started early in the morning, it can be kind of annoying. Another thing is that there's typically dirt everywhere all over the roads. So your cars, honestly, they just won't be clean. If your house has a garage, get your car in the garage. And so it's just really important to understand, yeah, it's great to get new construction, but that one of the big cons that we always hear about is, gosh, there's so much noise, there's so much traffic, and it's not even homeowners, it's people building the homes. And so just be prepared that when buying new construction, the neighborhood could be under construction for a couple years. Lastly, our con to building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area is understand that all builders are not created equal, nor do they build equal. And so this is where it comes back to experience and knowledge and looking at not only just reviews online of people that have purchased homes from the builders. It's important to talk with the agents and get their feedback and their experience, because we can absolutely tell you the ins and outs, the goods and the bads and the uglies of building with some of these builders. And really, depending on your price point and where you want to be, all builders are definitely not created equal. So all I'll say is I'm going to put my information up one more time and just reach out to me. And if there's a builder that you're thinking about building with, I would love for you to reach out to me and my team, and we'll absolutely be honest with you. We'll bring you in, you can sit down or hop on a Zoom call with us, and we'll tell you everything that we know about the builders here in the local area, our experience. Did our clients really like the home? Did they have issues right after closing, or did the builder even finish on time? And so dealing with an experienced, knowledgeable realtor is going to save you time and money, period. Lastly, I just want to cover the process, the build process. So when you go to build a home, what does that process look like? And so step number one is really just reaching out to me. I want you to go ahead and reach out to me so we can go ahead and start that conversation, getting to know what you want, where you need to be, and we can talk about the pros and the cons of builders and the building process and if it's the right fit for you. And so step number two to the process of building new construction is to talk to the builders. And by talking to the builders, usually that means we're going to be talking to the builder's agents, the ones that are working in the model home, the ones that you'll meet on the weekends or the weekdays that are there. Understand that they represent the builder. And so it's always important to have a representative, or at least let that agent know that you have a representative, someone hopefully on my team or me personally, to help guide you through the process. And really, you need a fiduciary in your corner, because if they're looking out for the builder, they may not tell you everything you need to know, especially when it comes to saving you money in the end. And number three is signing the contract and giving the builder's deposit. In this step, you'll be doing the builder's contract and you'll be going through it with us and the agent that represents the builder. which we're very familiar with most of the contracts that the builders use. Walking through, talking about the pros, the cons, the timelines, and then you're gonna sign that contract, and then you're gonna give a deposit. And so typically that deposit, we see it fall anywhere from, it could be just a couple $1,000s or no money if you don't do any upgrades, which is very, very rare. But on average, we're gonna see 5 to 10% of that price is gonna be paid up front in a deposit, and that's gonna be given to the builder up front. So just be prepared for those costs. And so after we've signed the contract and we've done the deposits, and now it's a little bit of a waiting game. You know, you're going to be working on your financing end, and then we're going to be waiting a little bit. And throughout the process, you're going to be updated and told about meetings that you'll have about the framing, the plumbing. You'll come and do a final walkthrough, typically a blue tape walkthrough. And the agents, us, we're going to be with you every step of the way. We're going to be in the home and taking a look at everything, the construction, the process, and really holding everyone accountable and making sure that we are not missing anything, something that doesn't, you know, maybe you got an upgrade in your bathroom and they didn't plan for it in the framing stage. So it's important to make sure we're not missing anything. And so utilizing your agent that's gonna have your back, especially when building that new home. And then lastly, after the blue tape walkthrough, you're gonna do your orientation to learn about your home. We're gonna walk through the home with the builder's representative, typically the superintendent or the builder of the neighborhood, and we're gonna walk through all the major systems and learn how the house works, show you exactly where everything is. That way, when you move in, all you have to do is have peace of mind, get your moving truck there, move everything in, and you guys can now enjoy your new construction home. Okay, that wraps up our pros and cons of building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or comments, I want you to just drop a line down on the bottom, or just feel free to text, email, call. We want to hear from you because honestly, we love building new construction. We love the process. We love seeing our clients get exactly what they want and they light up, and it's always a gratifying feeling to see it come to the finish line, and then now you're a local forever. So feel free to reach out to us. We love to hear from you. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, give us that thumbs up. Also hit that bell notification so you're notified of our next video, and we will absolutely see you guys on the next video. Pros, pros, pros and cons. Pros, pros, pros and cons. La di da di da di da di da da da. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So today we're going to cover some pros and cons of building new construction in the Auburn-Opelika area. So stay tuned.